Good morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am PJ. I'm ticked off. I'm angry. I'm a little sad. Negative emotions. I'm going to share with you why. I'm going to go over some things that I'd like you to ponder. And then when you ponder these things, I would really like you to take some freaking action. And women, I want you to especially pay attention to this. Please, because I care about you. According to the news, yesterday, a man and a woman were killed in Devil's Den State Park down in Arkansas. They are looking for a white male suspect wearing dark shorts, a dark tank top, weightlifter's gloves, driving a black four-door car, possibly a Mazda, possibly with the license plate taped over with electrical tape or duct tape. Seen driving on two roads near Devil's Den State Park. I think that's all the information that's out in the public right now. I have additional info, and that is right there. That is all the information that the police in the surrounding area, because I happen to know some of them, have been given themselves. That's what they have. The investigation, since it happened on a state park, is evidently being headed up by the state police and like the park police. They've got it. That's the information they've released to local law enforcement. I have huge problems with that. We'll get into that. I have personal information, which may or may not be true, that actually it was a family and they were walking down the trail and this guy sprung from the bushes with a knife. And by the way, thank you for the knife. You know who you are. I really appreciate it. I really do. Sprung from the bushes with a knife, attacked the father. The mother took the kids and ran back to the car with the kids to protect them, and then returned to help her husband, and she was killed also. They're both killed. That tells me a couple things. This guy was lying in wait outside of the parking lot, because that's not a lot of time to fight with a dude, kill him. The wife is running away with the kids and then comes back and gets killed. So they probably parked right there, and this guy's probably right off the trail leading from the parking lot. Let's go back to the two things I'm ticked off about. Number one, lack of information. And another thing, if it had been a black male, we wouldn't know what color the person was. If it had been a Middle Eastern male, appearing male, we wouldn't know what color the person was. But since it's a white male, we can say that. Okay, that's fine. Clearly, somebody saw this person. It might not be the actual perpetrator, right? It's a suspect, but they have pretty good reason to believe so. Clearly, somebody saw him. He was caught on camera, or somebody saw him and reported it, and that's how they got the details about dark shorts, tank top, weightlifting gloves, black car, four doors, taped over license plate. Okay. And I'm telling you, the local cops, that's all they have. Well, what kind of hair did the guy have? Was he wearing a hat? Was he wearing it backwards? Was he wearing it forwards? Did he have a shaved head? Was he about 30, 5'10" and muscular with a shaved head? Or was he like about 20, 6'2" and, 115 pounds and a mop of red hair? I mean, it makes a difference. And they know that information is known. However, they know what this guy was wearing down to his weightlifting gloves. What the hell are weightlifting gloves? That's a stupid thing to put out too. Did somebody actually see them? They said Weeder on them. Were they mechanics gloves with the fingers cut off? Were they bicycling gloves? Why say weightlifting gloves if that's the official information putting out? Give the details you have. Don't jump to conclusions. So what does this guy look like? What did he look like? Because white male tells you absolutely nothing. How old was the guy? What does his hair look like? Did he have a beard? They know this information, but they're not even putting it out to the local cops. So what the hell are the local cops supposed to look for? A dark car with a white guy in it? How many of those are driving around in Arkansas? So that ticks me off, the lack of professionalism. They ought to know, and if they know that, they wouldn't necessarily release it to the public, so I wouldn't know, which is fine. But by now, they ought to know what kind of shoes the bad guy was wearing. That can go a lot to tell you about age and things like that. Shoes, I have a theory on shoes in America. Because such a wide variety of shoes, men and women, are acceptable for a wide variety of social situations, you can tell a lot about a person by the kind of shoes they wear. Oh yeah, I check out people's shoes all the time when I'm meeting them. It's like, what kind of shoes you wearing? Because it says something about them. Look down at your shoes right now. It says something about you. Tell me if I'm wrong. You know a bunch of people. Start checking out their shoes, what they're wearing. I think it tells more than the kind of shirt they're wearing, the hat they're wearing, or anything else. But anyway, they ought to know what kind of shoes, because they ought to know if, in fact, he did spring from yon bushes. They ought to have some evidence. Number two, they probably have DNA evidence by now. If they don't, they should. You know, I don't know what the podunk police are like in Arkansas, but they ought to have either from defensive, you know, scratching the guy, grabbing the guy, and now they're dead, so you get stuff under their fingernails, or the fight included this other person's blood, you know, that kind of thing. They should have some DNA by now, I would think. And I don't watch CSI, so don't tell me I've watched too much CSI. I'm just thinking, if he's been laying in wait by the bushes, he's exuding skin cells and stuff, and it wasn't that long after it happened that the police arrived, so they ought to be able to get this stuff. And he wasn't wearing one of those white suits with everything all covered up, not exuding DNA. He was wearing shorts and a tank top. There's hair there from this guy. So that ticks me off that they don't have more information that they're sharing with at least local law enforcement. Again, they don't have to tell me, but they should be telling local law enforcement, and they're not. That's crap. Number two, I'm talking to you personally. There you are with your family, doing something PJ tells you to do. It's the weekend. You're going to go take a little walk in nature with your family. You're going to take a little hike. Kids are excited. You got water bottles, juice boxes. You got some sandwiches. You got some little stuff in your day pack. And you just leave the car. All right, kids, come on. We're going to walk this way. Come on. Y'all don't get spread out. And some dude jumps out of the bushes and comes at you with a knife. What do you do? What do you do? For all those of you who say, I shoot him, really? Have you practiced that? Because I got to tell you, that's well within the Tueller drill range, I'm assuming. You know, it's within 21 feet, and you're looking at your little girl going, come on, sweetie, let's go, you know, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, out of the bushes explodes action, and a person bent on destroying you with their knife already out. I bet you he wasn't 20 feet away. I bet you he was just right on the edge of the bushes. You don't have time to draw your gun and deal with that, or you're going to be stabbed. So you have to have basic hand-to-hand skills to fend this person off so that you can then draw your weapon and go to work. Do you have those skills? Why not? Well, I'm just a suburban dad with, a couple kids and a wife. I just do things like walk in the park on the weekend. I don't need to know how to fight, PJ. I'm not a Green Beret. The hell you don't. You need to know how to fight. You need to be armed all the time, and you need to know how to fight. Being armed it's not a magic wand. I have my gun. I'd shoot him. I guarantee you, I'm 63 years old with a rapidly recovering knee, but it's not 100% by any means. You let me hide in the bushes and let you walk by with your family, and I have a knife already in my hand, I have you. I have you. And I don't have to use fancy Filipino martial arts crap. I'm just going to bull rush in there and get you. For the vast majority of you. Some of you would eat my lunch. I get it. Women. Monday morning quarterbacking on facts that may not be facts. Right? I get that. And it's easy to point fingers afterwards. Yeah, but how else are you going to learn? Was she wrong in taking, all right, here's some maniac attacking her husband. He's screaming, he's fighting. This dude is stabbing her husband. And it's not like, he's like just stabbing him, right? That's the fight. She's a mom. She's taking her kids back to the car to get them out of this beaten zone. Mom would have been more effective if she'd pulled her handgun and shot the bad guy dead. Now, for all you women who do carry, and most of you do not, if you said that, yeah, I'd pull my gun out and shoot the bad guy dead, how would you do that without shooting your husband? Because they're not standing still going, and the husband's going, They are in a spinning Tasmanian devil whirlwind, spinning around, fighting, and about the second you pull the trigger is when your husband spins into your flight path of the bullet. What do? Do you just freeze because they're moving around so much? When was the last time you shot at 10 feet under extreme duress? Your husband is dying in front of you. He's being slaughtered. Your kids are right here in danger. You need training. Carrying a gun is not a magic wand. Stop it or I'll shoot you. This guy's in a maniacal rage. He'll swat that gun out of your hand and stab you, and he did. I mean, I don't think she had a gun. God rest her soul. Seriously. So you need training in that. I was just at Shabbat talking to a new wife about her husband. This is like premonition, I think, on my part. I was saying, all right, so because our women carry guns. I'm not to say that they're all IPSC, A-line shooters or whatever. I said, so your husband and I get in a fight. It's a lethal fight. And we are fighting and a knife comes out and I am trying to kill your husband. I don't think I said knife. I just said I'm killing your husband. And you pull your gun out. How do you know that at the second you pull that trigger, I don't spin him or he doesn't spin himself right into your line of fire? Well, there's a way to deal with that, and that is you have to create a triangle. You have to become part of that whirlwind. And you do that by grabbing either one of them. You can grab your husband, you can grab the bad guy. And now when they spin and turn and spin and turn, you're spinning and turning too. So the gun is relative to the bad guy is always the same, no matter what. And then you have to be aware of your angles of fire and understand anatomy, because you don't want to shoot through the bad guy and into your husband's face, right? And there's training. It's more than I can do in this video. You need training with your weapon, because when you need to use your weapon, it's life or death. It's not playing games anymore. It's not go away or I will shoot you. Okay, don't shoot me. It's not that. It's real violence. So get training, women. I think the best course of action when that happened, because the fight was clearly focused on the man first, from the information I have, is for the woman to withdraw her firearm from wherever it was and shoot the bad guy. Now, I was telling this woman at Shabbat yesterday also, my wife is very well trained with me. When we walk in public, she walks on my gun side. She walks right here when we walk. That's to keep somebody from bumping my gun and knowing it's there, from somebody from attacking my gun and knowing it's there. They got to go through her, and while they're dealing with her, I'm dealing with them. I mean, it's just, she walks right here. And if there's a problem, let's say there's a drunk guy, he's not even being violent. He's just like, hey, man, let me ask you something. All right, in public. What my wife will do, women, what you should do is she will step behind me, get a step back from me, and put her hand lightly in the small of my back. I know where she is. She is looking 360 around and looking at and she's probably also putting her hand on her gun in this point. And I'm dealing with the problem. I watch a lot of fight videos. Most of the people who fight are drunk. All the surrounding people are drunk. It kills me when I see a man going to hit somebody and his woman grabs his arm and is saying, no, no, don't hit him. That's how that guy can get killed because his wife is trying to stop the violence. So women, you have to be trained when your partner is getting ready for or is in an altercation. There are things you need to do. Screaming is not one of those things. It doesn't help men's brain work correctly. Holding him back is not one of those things. Getting in the way, getting between your male partner and the threat is stupid. That happens all the time too. Don't you talk to my husband that way? That's a problem. The man's job is to provide and protect. It's not the woman's job. But to the point that she can assist while the man is tying up the other guy, go to work. But you need training. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. My fear, I have no fear. My concern is that this guy is going to get away with it. From what I've heard so far, unless they get DNA and find out who it is, he's going to get away with it. If the guy gets away with it, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Final thought, it's not just a dude. It's demons. And they're getting worse. Gang, Vikings, you need to get serious about your personal protection. It's not a game. It's not a, let's go shopping. Sweaty training is needed. I don't care if you're a 60-year-old woman with 2 bad knees. My wife's 63. She trains. Your life may depend on it. The life of your loved ones may depend on it. I will see you out there.